Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Clubhouse. Today is Tuesday. That's right. I was going to say Saturday. September 17th, 2024. And we're 180 some odd shows into this crazy thing of the show of nothing, but we still like to have fun and talk about nothing and whatever. And tonight we have Shane, who changed his call sign to N1OG. And hey, Paul, good evening.
How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
So what's it like up there? Is it getting a little cooler up there in the northern regions of the United States?
Well, as I'm sure it'll eventually get to you, the leaves are certainly starting to change, and it's definitely getting down into the 60s and 50s at night. So the garden is about had it.
Yeah. I'm actually seeing the maples are already dropping leaves for the last 2 weeks now. On my trek to work, it's about 45-minute run. It's called Route 9 from the Connecticut shoreline up to the middle part of the state. I'm already seeing that tinge as I get closer to the middle part. It's you could see it. You could see nothing is green anymore. Plus, we haven't had a lot of rain down here as compared to other parts of the country. So I think things are going to start falling a lot sooner and easier due to the lack of rain. So that's just Mother Nature, man. That's not global warming, in my opinion. That's just the Earth doing whatever the Earth does, and we've only been recording it for about 100 years or so, maybe. So who the heck knows what else happened? But
well, the interesting thing about the whole global warming thing is I never paid attention to this before I got into ham radio, but the solar cycles, like if you pay attention, Joe Brett. If you pay attention to the solar cycle, the intensity of the winter coincides.
As well as parachuting people, as well as my brother next to me who says, I don't know how to add people. I know how to add people, but you also know how to add yourself, don't you? We're only 4 minutes into this thing. We're only 4 minutes into this thing. And this is already turned into 80 meters. Let's not do that.
I'm not an admin. I can't add myself, which is a good thing for you, right?
I know you can't, but I thought Joe Brett could.
I could. Okay.
You just didn't want to. So in other words, you didn't want to allow Carlos in, but so you just let me do it, and because
I know it's me and Carlos. I guess he's running a net or something.
Joe has been known to be a man of sound judgment and reasonable thought, and allowing me in is just neither one of those things.
Oh no! Don't stutter it. Don't get me.
Excuse me, my voice is shot. So if it starts to mess up, I'll bow out. But for now, I'm okay for now.
There is no tagging out, man. We told you this, guy. We told everybody once you get voted into this clubhouse, there's really no tagging out. There is no tagging out. People can come and go. Like I was telling Paul earlier, to me, in my opinion, this is like Thanksgiving. We're hosting Thanksgiving. The door is open. Grab yourself a plate. I don't care if you want white meat, dark meat, drumstick, breast, thigh. It don't matter. There's the mashed potatoes and the gravy. Grab yourself a roll. Sit your ass down, and let's just be brothers and
You
sisters.
have to be careful how you phrase that.
Oh, here we go.
You have to be very careful how you phrase that. Now, look, you're in Connecticut. Paul's in New Hampshire. Joe Brett's in Mississippi. But we know some people in Alabama who will take that to a different level. So if you want thigh meat, it might have a different connotation there, okay? So you got to be careful how you say things and where you say them.
So let's just say dinner. You want dinner, come in. Yes, because I learned when my sister was in Texas, I learned that when I would ask her, so how's the barbecue? She says, yeah, it's not like you just can't say barbecue. Or barbecue means everything. You can go to the gas station. Certain gas stations had great barbecue. Here in the Northeast,
Buc-ee's.
I have never seen. We don't even have Buc-ee's. I have Buc-ee's. If you are listening, if there's any Buc-ee's representatives, corporate, please answer my email. Please consider putting something in Connecticut. Please.
Oh, barbecue chips.
I promise. You know something? Tell you what I'll do.
Buc-ee's barbecue.
I will eat a bag of barbecue potato chips, and I am a man of Joe Brett knows I'm a man of my word. If they open a Buc-ee's, I will go live here on a Tuesday night, and I will digest all of the entire bag of barbecue, including the powder on the back of the bag and the bottom of the bag gets stuck in the corner.
We can arrange this.
You call corporate. You make corporate happen.
We can arrange this.
Because I have been to the Buc-ee's websites and I get very jealous about what I see in the videos and the stuff that gets made and all these fantastic foods that I cannot enjoy. So let my lower and upper and lower GI tract enjoy the bounty of all that Buc-ee's has to offer, except for coffee. But I will eat a bag of potato chips. I will take one for the team if Buc-ee's does it for us here in Connecticut. So
now the funny thing is, though, right? Is Izzo said, "Oh, everybody's welcome. Come on back. Come on back." But I haven't been invited back since the takeover.
How do I say fuck you? How do I say fuck you? Because I think the takeover, or actually when you and the rest of those crazy guys from the Northeast up in that region, that nether region that you belong to, we said, if someone go to the tape and fact, and what do you call that stuff? Fact finding it, whatever, fact checked it. You can come back anytime. There's no invitations needed. Just come in. You can either hang out. You want to promote something. So I will bring you to Ham Court, but I'm a nice guy and I won't. We'll just let it ride.
Well, then.
Don't turn me into Molson tonight. I'm in a good mood. Do not turn me into Molson.
While you're at it, let's just throw another northern guy at you.
I have to. How's it going?
Oh, are you ready, Eric? I'm bad.
Yeah.
Look at him. He just wants to give AM a chance. All right, John. Not too many people know what I just said, what that meant, right?
I'm recovering from a cold, and you guys are kicking me already. This is too much.
What happened? Is it from jumping? Is it from the vid? Is it from because 'tis the season, Carlos?
It was from hanging out with all y'all last week. I was feeling okay until like Wednesday morning, and then it went.
You don't think it was all that hugging and kissing and all that other stuff from the Huntsville area? And now all of a sudden it catches up with you 3-4 weeks later.
It'd be a long incubation there, bud.
Well, I know alcohol and cigars do kill germs, so that's how I.
A big spoon, little spoon contracts anything.
So is this a pseudo takeover night? Are we? I'm just asking.
Hanging out. Why does everybody, Joe Brett? Why does everybody have to turn this into a takeover?
We
just
just
want to hang out.
We just invited the new corporate to come hang out.
Just hang out with us. Joe Brett, tell them we're all on the back porch or the front porch. Joe, just tell them we're all on the porch. We're just,
sitting on the couch on the front porch. Man,
couch on the front porch. You want to sit on the front lawn on the couch? That's fine too. I don't care.
We're going to change corporate. Take our corporate hat off. We'll dump it. Flex it. There we go. Now it's non-corporate. We're all good.
Now it's a flex takeover because what 2 years have flex, right? And I know Steve is landing on here. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There's the echo.
Dang it, Steve. Dang it, Steve.
There.
Damn it, Bobby.
Bobby.
Okay, who's got the echo?
All right. No, time out. The first thing we should do.
Eric, hit a button. What?
Gotta love audio issues.
Audio.
Wow.
Listen, we need to thank everybody in the chat. No, come on. I don't want to talk. This is. I'm not an airport. A pilot. I don't need to hear myself.
Let's see. I don't know who it is with the echo. Someone has an echo.
Don't make me hype breath and turn blue.
Well, was it coming from me?
It's like I got my 104.
Well, you mean my mic? I've already figured it out. Yes. One of them bottom northerns there.
I think it's
Damn northerners.
Just say it twice.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Isn't that nine times now?
This is reverb night. Breaker.
Who's got the air guitar?
You're out.
Let's see. Have we figured it out yet? No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
It's Eric. It's definitely Eric.
I was wrong. Apologize.
Gotta love audio issues.
Now that we got rid of the troublemaker.
Well, look at all these people in the chat that we need to say hello to.
Hello, people.
An old friend, Tim. Our old friend Tim, WANGT, has been back. I've been seeing him around. Julie's here from last week. Julie survived. Thank you, Julie, to her and Vaughn for a great show last week.
Julie's a new channel member.
Nice. Very good. Oh. We appreciate Jody's here tonight as always. Brian's in. Kurt's here. I saw Ryan. Sean Long is here. Jeff is always here. Glad he can make it. I saw Mo's here. Our other friend Brian and Ron and Ham Radio Tectonics is here. Who else did I meet? 45 Auto. How do we not say hello to 45 Auto? So
you got a long way to go, is it?
Yeah, I know. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So, and Cooley's here. Haven't seen Cooley in a while. And Jason. It is like Romper Room, isn't it? Sometimes you got to wonder about this place. If everybody as old as me can remember Romper Room, then there you go.
Listen, kiddo, back when I was your age,
it used to be
jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah, that was before jumping out of airplanes was legal. The only ones who did it was the military and the hippies.
Well, guess what? I qualify for both.
Speaking of jumping out of airplanes, guess what I'm doing 1 week from tomorrow?
Yeah.
We're at
Skydive Pepperell.
Where's this now?
Very nice.
It's right on the New Hampshire-Massachusetts border.
We're gonna call it
what?
We're gonna call it New Hampshire.
Yeah.
we're just look. I'm not even a New Hampshire resident, and I'm telling you that we're annexing Pepperell. Done. It's a done deal. If Massachusetts wants to fight about it, they can come to the border with a gun. Oh wait, they don't have them.
The Communist Welfare of Massachusetts.
You just can't squeeze the trigger.
Better just stay on the main roads.
You said this was called skydive pipe roll?
Pepperell.
Oh, okay.
And what does that mean? So what is the Pepperell? Is that a town or an event name or?
Yeah, it's the town. Yeah, it's literally right on the border of like Brookline, Hollis area.
Okay.
So it's right there.
And this is an event where skydiving is done. Is there popcorn? Is there, beef jerky?
There's always good stuff at a drop zone.
Yeah, exactly. There's always good stuff at a drop zone.
All right.
To include barbecue beaver nuggets.
I'm going into this blind, so I just I know I'm jumping.
There you go, man. Any last words? I mean, any words you want to say to us before you go take the leap of faith?
I love you guys.
Right.
So okay. I have to hang on, Izu. I have to put my interviewer's hat on here real quick. Look, I wish I could be there for you. I really do.
Tell me there's going to be video.
That said, I'm sure there's going to be video. What I want to do is have a before and after. So what are your expectations? Knowing nothing about the sport, knowing nothing what's coming up, what are your expectations? What do you what do you think you're going to feel like? And then what we're going to do is in a couple of weeks, we're going to follow it up with, the before and the after. Oh, go ahead.
I dig it. All right. So preconceived notions out the window. I'm going into this thinking that it'll be cold up in the plane, and it'll probably be cold for a little bit on the way down. But hopefully, it should be such an exhilarating thing that the adrenaline rush will be there, and it'll be everything that I'm hoping that it'll be.
I was going to say, even if it was hot, your body's probably still going to shake like it's cold.
Yes, or nerves. Is that called nerves?
It's called a healthy sense of reality. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So you're expecting some cold. Cool. How much of the jump do you expect to remember without the video?
Good point.
Ooh, maybe like 5 seconds.
Okay. All right.
And that 5 seconds is from the time jumping out of the plane in midair or landing?
That's a really good question.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be the initial jump, and then everything is going to be a blur until I'm on the ground.
Okay. How good are you with addiction?
Oh, I tend to get addicted to things quite easily, actually.
Is that the same as how many swear words do you know?
Well,
No, he's prior military. We don't want to go there.
We're sharing a grunt moment here, right? So,
keep the language for the after chat.
Exactly, So, then on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being, how do I put this delicately?
Oh, just say we're in the clubhouse.
The most fun you can have with your clothes on.
No. The most fun you can have with your clothes off. And one being
that's only one jump number 100.
And one being a walk down the street. Where do you expect this to fall in terms of excitement?
Is like a 50 too high?
No. I mean, absolutely not.
Well, give him a scale. Carlos, give him the scale of 1 to.
I did. I said 1 to 10, with 10 being the most fun you can have with your clothes off.
Right. And then he said 50. So there you go.
So he's expecting an amazing, exhilarating thing. Okay, look, guy to guy. Ladies, if you're watching the stream right now, mute it because this is not going to be tasty for you. All right. So, all right. Let's give them 10 seconds to mute themselves, mute it out. That way they don't hear me saying this.
Mm-hmm.
Izzo's muting himself out. Got it. No
I'm
big
not.
deal. Look,
Very good, Eric.
from personal experience, your first jump is like the very first time with a woman.
Oh, that's going to be terrible then.
No. See, the thing is, it lasts 60 seconds, not 15. So you're going to be great.
Okay, so I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious.
You want to rethink this one, Julie?
See,
Julie, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Julie.
I am not sorry at all. I gave her plenty of time to mute it out.
No, she's a tough lady. She's a tough lady. She can hang. She's a tough lady.
So, based off of our insurance rider with the podcast itself and how critical Paul is to our show, bottom line is we have open tryouts, Carlos. So
I can make it.
Was there a special rider? Did the Northeast Hams have to put a special rider on Paul to say, listen, you want to do this, you do this, but we need to have some extra insurance?
Let me just say that our marketing budget's going to go through the roof if something bad happens.
Hey, that's
I have some
I'm
bad
seeing
news
some
for you,
marketing
Eric.
ideas now.
I'm thinking of a
Some bad-
T-shirt that has like an egg that says like an egg that hits the ground splat. That'd just be a great T-shirt.
No. See, I'm thinking a T-shirt more like Carlos's, but with the trash can underneath the parachute.
Oh, nice. Nice thing.
And Paul's face out the top. I want royalties on that.
Okay, we'll make it happen. And so, to answer your earlier question, Carlos, you posed, are we going to do video? Yes, I will be live streaming on my channel. So, I will be there in real time. So, you'll catch it live.
Who gets
I'm gonna pay for the footage too.
Nice.
Excellent.
And what happens? And listen, I don't want to be morbid, but here's the reality. Who gets the flex? God forbid. Who gets the flex?
He doesn't have one.
No,
I thought you had a flex. I thought you had a flex at the house.
dual 7300s.
Oh, I'm okay.
Dual 73s?
I'll take dual 7300s. Thank you very much. Let me call Pepperell right now.
Well, one of them is slightly dinged up.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. The sticker's on the bottom side of the plate, right?
And he's not here to defend himself.
Oh God, I can't be laughing this much tonight already. My voice is already shot.
Goodness.
Any plans for a second jump?
Already booked and paid for.
Oh, look
So-
at this guy.
Hooked.
So the thing you need to do
Before
is
he
you
even
need to talk
jumps.
to you need to talk to your tandem instructor and say, hey, listen, first jump, we're going to do the thing, right? Second jump, you're going to do a high pull. And your tandem instructor is going to look at you weird. And you're going to say, I'm going to tip you well. We're going to do a high pull. I'm going to bring a handheld. You're going to hold onto the handheld for me because he has to. And then, in a pocket, tethered, okay? And then you just do parachute mobile on 5-2 all the way down.
Oh, interesting.
All right. Well, listen, it's booked for October 23rd, which is my 43rd birthday.
Okay.
So maybe you can swing a deal there.
October 23rd. Let me look at my calendar real quick here. October 23rd.
Can you put it
That's
on the
a Wednesday.
22nd? Yeah, can you put it on the 22nd and we'll do it here on Clubhouse?
So,
Might be a little late.
so that's a Wednesday. Let me talk to my boss and see if I can skirt that way for a couple of days.
For a good cause.
We'll make it happen. Good job.
So here's the question I had. It's like the first time I got on a motorcycle with someone, and I said, where do I put my hands? Because I don't want to be inappropriate, but I want to put. Is it the same thing, Paul? Is the same thing when you go tandem? Like, where do you put your hands, or you just like? What's the
Where do you
whole
put your hand?
protocol? What's the protocol?
So, Paul, have they told you yet?
There's
All right,
5
I'll tell
attachment
you.
points.
Well, we have 4 main attachment points. You have to pay for the 5th. Ask for the fifth attachment point. Your instructor
I don't want to know
will
where
like
the
it.
fifth is. I don't want to know where the fifth is.
I don't have a zipper back there.
Don't worry, we have hook knives. So we put a harness on you, and the harness has 2 shoulder straps, right? The excess for the shoulder straps is always, unless you're, 7 foot tall, there's always excess on the shoulder straps. And what we do is we make a loop on the front of the shoulder straps, and we tell you that these are your handles right here. So there's a loop there. You grab them. Anytime you're thinking, oh shit, that's where you go, right? Because if we instruct you to go there, that means your hands are in a place where they can't do any wrong, and they still provide you with the comfort you need up here. It's not going to change a damn thing, but it gives you the mental comfort of, I'm holding on, right? Look, the tandem instructor is in charge. There's no 2 ways about it. We're going to take care of you. You know why?
Wow.
We have plans for tonight, which include being in Clubhouse, having a few drinks, and we're not going to mess them up on account of you.
Oh, that's very considerate.
Smart.
So,
Wicked smart.
Oh, dude, I am looking forward to the report post jump. This is a lovely thing. Steve, you've been there. You've done that. Any words of wisdom for Paul before?
Just enjoy the ride.
Especially
First one, enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Especially if you pay for the 5th attachment point.
We'd have more luck playing pickup sticks with our butt cheeks than
Eric had an entire soundboard with video clips and audio clips.
Ready to go. Just ready to go.
I haven't done it yet. I may do it. If this doesn't work out, probably I will do it. I would almost say definitely.
Definitely going to do it.
Definitely going to do it.
So, Paul, is this something that you always wanted to do? Was Carlos or others an inspiration? Like, where does this start from?
Yeah, so I have always, since I was thinking about joining the military, wanted to jump. And I didn't get the chance in the military. And so ever since I got out, I've always said, someday I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. And then we had Carlos on the Live Free and Ham show, and he was telling me about his someday story, and then his wife got him tickets. And so I had that conversation with my wife, and I said, listen, this is the year. Enough somedays. Like, let's do it.
Yep.
You got to grab the bull by the horns, man. And here's the thing. This is one of 2 things. Either A, you're going to love it. Like, just mainline it, love it, right? Or you're going to hate it. But nobody can take away from you the fact that you did it, and that is a rarefied strata, right?
Good point. Yep.
There's not too many people that are going to go, yeah, I've done that. Okay, well, show me the pictures. Oh, you don't have pictures. You don't have video. You don't have any evidence of it. You haven't done it. Shut up. Right? You're going to be part of a fraternity or a family of people that is rarefied because you will have done it at least once.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like being in these rare, these 1% clubs, like 1% of the United States population is served in a combat zone. Yeah, well, I'm sure it's probably 1% or less that have jumped.
It's a slim percentage. I don't know what the number is, but it is a very slim percentage.
It's definitely low.
It is amazing, man. I'm telling you, it's like the first time, but it lasts 4 times as long.
So our buddy Walt just threw something out there. Is Walt's wife? She's made several jumps. I didn't know about. This is something we don't know about Walt. You guys had Walt on your show. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was Friday.
Yeah.
Was that discussed?
No. Nope. Didn't
Look
come
at
up
that. See the things that come out in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Someone give. There you go. Must be all those clam fritters that he's eating over there in Rhode Island. It's all coming out now. So.
Yeah, but now he needs to go.
Well, some people will and some people won't.
Mm-hmm. And as I recall, Carlos, your first you were going to back out of.
Oh, absolutely. On my first jump, I was ready to back out. I was looking for any excuse to get out of it.
Why was that, Carlos? Why was that? What
because I was terrified. I was scared shitless, man. Are you kidding me?
No. But is there another reason? I know. I seriously listen. That emotion is a very. I get that emotion for anybody, but the question there's sometimes a little bit more behind it.
So I'll tell you that I was just terrified, right? Okay. There's a Steve. Did you hear this story? Mm-hmm. Did you hear this whole story?
I did.
All right, so you're gonna hear it again.
And it's close.
My wife is sick and tired of hearing me say someday. She buys me 2 tandem jumps for my birthday in a certain year, and she gives them to me. And we're in the hunting season, and this boy lives in a tree stand during the hunting season. Okay. So I said, thank you, but we're not doing this right now. And she said, by the way, if you give me one, I'll go with you. And I said, deal, right?
That's a great woman.
She's not only is she a great woman, she is an amazing woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to the spring of the following year. Excuse me. The winds, we book our date, we go, the winds are howling. So much so that we can't go. We're on a weather hold because of winds. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And it's lunchtime, and we're hungry. The nearest town from Rochelle with any meaningful population is DeKalb. Mm-hmm. At the time, Rochelle didn't have anything worth eating. Okay, so we go to DeKalb, and the only place in DeKalb that we can find that is open, because DeKalb is a college town, it's a Chipotle. Okay, stay with me, fellas.
It's a good choice before you're jumping, right?
Don't get ahead of him.
This is a turning point.
We eat Chipotle burritos for lunch. We come back to the drop zone. We're still waiting. About 3:00 in the afternoon, I think it was. The weather gods smile upon us, and the winds calm down enough that we can go. So the people that are waiting go, right? And we're like on load 3 or 4, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. But we were not the first load to go. And as I'm sitting there, I'm perfectly fine. I swear to you, I am perfectly fine. It's not until it's our call. It's time to get in the plane. Like, we're harnessed up. We're ready to go. It's not until that call that my brain starts to have issues, and then my gut joins it along.
And you
remember
have
Chipotle for lunch.
You have no dude wipes. You have no
dude wipes, right? And not only that, I am the last one out, which means I am the first one in. So my instructor's just ahead of me, and I have this unbelievable need to rip one.
Seen that commercial on TV, but it's a little different descriptors.
But I'm the first one into the airplane, and if I let one go, now I'm crop dusting the entire airplane. And even then,
emotional damage.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. I think
Yes, Eric.
this would be very rude of me to do, especially since the next one behind me is my wife's instructor and then my wife, right?
Is the jumpsuit yours, or did you borrow a jumpsuit?
You get a jumpsuit from the drop zone at the time. We don't do jumpsuits anymore, for reasons.
Yes, they don't do jumpsuits
So-
any longer.
They don't clean real well.
So, all right.
But someone didn't tell you to wear a pair of Depends. No, I'm going to ask you a very serious question. Someone just said, "Hey, listen, this is your first time. You start, just put on a pair of Depends."
No, you don't need them. And here we go with the echo.
Damn it, Eric.
It's that soundboard, Eric. I'm telling you. All right, so we get in the airplane, and my gut wants, like really desperately, to let one go. Who amongst you is familiar with Boyle's Law?
Never heard of
Boyle's Law? Anybody?
I've heard of it, but I can't remember what it is.
All right. Boyle's Law is simple. Has to do with gases, pressure, and temperature. Boyle's Law says that any gas that remains at a constant temperature and a constant pressure remains at its same volume. Okay? Simple. If you change any of the variables, the pressure and volume change, right? So if you change pressure, the volume changes and the temperature changes. If you change temperature, the pressure changes and the volume changes. And if you change volume, then the temperature and the pressure change. Okay? Well, guess what? The human body is a little bit flexible, but not a ton. So the volume,
98.6 is very critical to the volume of.
So the volume is staying the same, and the temperature is staying the same because our core temperature is fairly well laid out, right? That means that the pressure is either going to increase or decrease. Well, guess what? As you go up, the pressure decreases, which makes the volume on the inside expand. Huh? See? Paul's thinking what I'm putting down, right?
Weather balloon.
Right? Well, exactly. Weather balloon. But the door is closed and we're in the airplane and we're climbing and the pressure keeps getting worse and worse. Okay? And all I can think of is how can I let this go without being rude? So, my brain eventually comes up with the answer. Sooner or later, they're going to have to open up this door for everybody to get out. When that happens, the stream of air is the laminar flow of air that's going along the body of the aircraft is going to disrupt and is going to come into the cabin, creating a vortex inside of the cabin.
You're doing a lot of algebra right now.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I'm trying to sort this out, right? But I know that as soon as the door opens, I can relieve myself of this pressure, and it's not gonna mess anybody up.
Except it's going to crop dust the whole airplane as it goes out.
That's okay, but it'll be fast.
Yeah, be quick.
It will.
Right?
Right.
So, but now I'm terrified, right? Like I've been terrified from the moment we got into the airplane. And that's not just from the pressure, right? I'm legitimately going, who do I have to impress? Look, I already got the girl. I already have the job. Who do I have to impress? I don't have to impress me. Why am I doing this? But the deal is, my buddy's in the plane, my wife is in the plane, and I'm in the plane. And I'm thinking, my buddy Perry, he's not going to go. Because he's quite a bit older than me. And,
Mike, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
We're reaching for the same button.
I'm figuring we got like 90 more minutes. So
Okay, so wait a minute.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay.
For the podcast listeners,
You're obviously suffering for content tonight. You invited me.
Ham Radio Tube states that this is the longest story about a fart that he has ever heard. All right, continue listening.
Cool. So I'm trying to figure out how to get out of this. My buddy Perry's in the plane, and I'm thinking he's quite a bit older than me. He doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. He's gonna go, you know what? No, and I'm gonna be the best friend ever because I'm gonna stay in the airplane with him. Right? This is my plan. We get to 14,000 feet. The door opens. Now, look, you haven't been there. Steve has been there. And Paul will be there next week. But look, your tandem instructor is laid back and just waiting for their turn, right? We're not amped up. We've done this 1,000 times, right? We're just waiting for our turn. It's a lot of fun, but we're just waiting for our turn. And my tandem instructor is right behind me. We're completely hooked up. And we are very close to each other right now. And he's just behind me, laying back. He's laying back against the bulkhead of the airplane. And door opens. And now it's my time to shine. I let it rip. And I felt Rudy. He was just chilling. He was just like, and I felt Rudy go from chill to, like he got rigid. He got rigid.
It was a bump.
Right?
I bet he thought you shit yourself.
Well, that's where we're going with it, right? And remember, I'm sitting on his lap, right? So where is this going?
Well, I'm sure Santa Claus can say a lot. Santa Claus at the department stores could probably tell you the exact same thing.
Oh yeah.
So the first group of fun jumpers goes, and I'm going, I have an out. Second group of fun jumpers goes, I have an out. It's time for Perry to go. And Perry scoots his merry, happy little ass over to the door, and out the door he goes. And my brain goes, oh shit, my out is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My out is gone. But for 10 glorious seconds, my brain went, you dumbass, your wife, she's next. She's not gonna go. You're gonna be the best husband ever. This is better than being the best friend ever. You're gonna be the best husband ever. You're gonna stay in the plane with your wife. You're gonna get so many brownie. She's gone.
See ya.
And I'm thinking, well, shit, I gotta go. They're gonna take my man card away if I don't go. I need my man card. Yep, I need my man card.
Can't be outdone by the wife.
Right.
I get to the door. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. I have my eyes slammed shut. And the count at the time was you grab the handlebars and it's out into your handles, 2 ready, and then 3 you go. And I have my hands on that handlebar on the pipe on top of the door. And my brain said, listen, dumbass, you're doing this once, exactly once in your life. Open your damn eyes and at least remember this because it will be the only time you do this. Right? Mm-hmm. So I opened my eyes on the set and I looked out and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I tried pulling my instructor out, but we got to remember, we have timing gaps on purpose. Mm-hmm. Right? We need to have enough distance between each other. I don't know this at the time. And I tried pulling us out, and my instructor reams me back and goes, not yet. Now we go. Right? Look, I'm yelling like a schoolgirl all the way. Ah! Just the highest pitched tone that has ever come out of my mouth. Remember, my wife left behind me, in front of me, right? Mm-hmm. We're at 14,000 feet when we leave the airplane. Several things took place that seldomly happen. The staff from the drop zone came out because they could hear someone in free fall.
You?
Okay.
What's the duration? What is the time duration average from 14,000 feet to drop? What do we? How many minutes?
5,000 feet, you're looking at 50 seconds, right? So remember, my wife left 10 seconds before me. Her parachute opens, and her instructor hears us, and she hears us. And her instructor says, well, she's having a good time. To which my wife goes, nope, that's my husband. Right? And as soon as we have a parachute open, I took care of the critical items. The first thing I did is I looked back at my instructor and I went, by the way, that was a fart. And he went, oh, thank God, I thought you shit yourself. And then the second one was, how do I do this again? How do I get a license? Because hook me up right now. We're done. This is a done deal. We're doing this all the time. And he gave me the controls, and we flew around a little bit, and he talked me through it. And he told me about the school and everything else. And sure enough, eventually I get my license, and here I am, being one of the drug dealers of the century, because what I do is deal in drugs. It's legal drugs, and it's amazing.
Yes.
And it's amazing. That's how I feel about Poda still. I say that very seriously. I still get very excited to go into a Poda park, whether I've been there before, which I'll tell you, on Saturday I went to one of the parks that I like, and that euphoria after, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now of doing Poda, it just comes back again. It is an amazing human emotion. Listen, I'm not here to say Poda is the same as skydiving, but I get it though in the whole euphoric stage. So
I'm kind of stuck on one part. I just got to ask. So
go ahead.
Your significant other, your wife there, what was her reason to just go straight out the door? Just say, see you.
She's a badass.
Well, I was kind of wondering if she was having the same Chipotle problems you was, and was,
but just being a lady about it.
Yeah, but then I was thinking, well, she could have easily just said, honey, oh my God, and started a chain reaction, but yeah.
She's a badass. Look, there's no two ways about it. Those of you that have met my wife, and I don't think anybody in the room has, but a couple of the people in the chat have, they all know my wife's just a legit gangster, man. She's a badass. So the idea of jumping out of an airplane was no big deal to her.
Sure, let's do it.
She's like, because we had this, we had 4 hours to drive home after that to figure this out. I'm like, and we had this conversation, and it was like, so were you ever hesitant? She goes, no, why would I be? Like, because it's an airplane and we're not supposed to be getting out of it. She goes, I was with a professional. I'm fine. And I'm like, you're just such a gangster.
So Carlos, okay. So now, what happens on the second time? Now, is it now because now you does it kind of hit you on the second, or what? What to expect, or what?
Dude, I'm 3,000. I'm 3,000 jumps in, and it still hits. Right? It just hits different. It just hits in a different way. Jump number 2, you remember way more of the jump. I'm not gonna tip my hand here because I asked Paul some questions ahead of time. I want to see what his experience is, so I'm not gonna lead the witness.
I see him drooling right now. He is drooling,
but I can tell you that you remember way more on the second time around than you do on the first, because now your brain has a little bit of a notion of what's about to happen, right?
Okay.
The first time, your brain is going 1,000 miles an hour going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, right? On your second jump, your brain's going, man, we survived the first time. We're going to be okay.
Really? Are you serious? I would think that would happen on maybe jump 25 or jump 100.
No. It's different, right? At least for me and for the people that I've talked to in depth about this, it just hits different. Jump number 2, you remember quite a bit more. You still have apprehension. You're still door shy. You still getting to the door and you're going, am I sure about this? Am I sure? But your brain has already processed this and it's going, I know what's happening. I can remember more. Right? Jump number 3, more of the same, right? It's processing more. Your focus. I'm already leading the witness. I'm just saying, look, jump 3000. I am still giddy. Steve was there for jump 2000 some odd, right? And he'll tell you that I'm still giddy when we land.
Oh yeah.
I'm just beyond elated. Because
and that's what? And that's the adrenaline rush. Is that the adrenaline rush?
Yes.
For me, it's not adrenaline anymore. It's the enjoyment of the freedom that comes from putting your life on the very ragged edge, right? By choice, not by edict, right? Where Paul's gonna find some common ground here is the first time you were in a firefight and you're there not by choice, really. You're there because you've been ordered there. And
that's a shit your pants moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shit your pants moment, and you're rah because I'm with my boys, and we're gonna rock it and whatnot. You know, we're gonna kill commies for mommy. But you've been put there not exactly out of your own volition. You didn't have a choice about going, yeah, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. No, once your unit gets deployed, and you're going to the front, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Right? You're not going to go, you know what, guys? I changed my mind. I want to be a Renf. No, you don't get you don't get that choice. So the closest parallel is that, in that the difference is that you're choosing to do this as opposed to being voluntold to do this. Right, and that's where I fear Paul is going to end up with this habit, right? Which is a good thing, right? I'm okay with it. It means I have another buddy in the sky that is going to eventually maybe get to the point where he can do parachute mobile, and I can have another ally in the sky, right?
I was going to say, maybe
parachute mobile.
Maybe somebody do the DB Cooper jump with.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of you guys just having a QSO between you. You know, a parachute QSO between the two.
I would love that.
It'd be really cool.
It's on my list of things to do. It's legitimately on my list of things to do. And it's even if Paul never, let's say he gets his license, he never gets around to doing parachute mobile. Understand that doing what I do is a different realm of skydiving. It takes an awful lot of practice and it takes an awful lot of experience to get to the point where you can take a radio with you, because you're adding yet another element into the mix that doesn't belong up there. Like I'll tell you, it does not belong up there. I do it because, experience allows me to do that. If I didn't have the experience that I have, I wouldn't even dream about doing this. I'd dream about it, but I wouldn't do it. And it's because I've seen many things go wrong from people trying to do shit they shouldn't be doing. Like, oh, we can totally rock out this kind of a jump, and I'm like, you shouldn't try that. You have like.
What's an example? What is an without giving names, and but like what are things that should not be done, in your opinion?
So,
regardless of whether you have 2,000 or 4,000.
Oh, well, no, hang on. What you shouldn't do is you should never compromise anything that's going to entangle in your parachute. period. Right.
But give me an example. What could entangle your chute?
So, for example, let's say that you want to do a streamer in freefall, right? And they make streamers for that, or riggers will make you a streamer for that. You have to be ready to let go of $500. Just if you are not able to secure it at the time of deployment, you have to be ready to let go of $500 and may never see it again. You may or may not, because it's going to stay inflated and it's going to float down to the ground, and people are going to see it and they're going to go, it landed over that way. And in the Midwest, it's corn and bean and bean and corn. So this time of the year, if you want to go retrieve that, you're going to go walk the fields for hours on end until you find it, or not. Right? You're not guaranteed to find it.
Much like a radio bag.
Exactly. Much like a radio bag.
I was going to say, strap your phone to
I was thinking it.
Find my phone.
So
I'll throw them under the bus. It's okay.
I'm okay with that. That video will come out in a month.
No. I was just wondering, like, what are without being stupid here, but like, I wouldn't know what is something you should not be doing up in the air, whether you're at 12,000. I have no idea. That's why
like I said, you should never compromise the ability of your parachute to open up cleanly. So, like, for example, people talk to me a lot about, like, oh, you should totally put an antenna in the lines and put it in the parachute. No. Oh, but it's going to be fine. It's just going to act just like a line. No. Not just no, but hell no. You want to go kill yourself, you go do it. Oh, you don't have a license. How about you shut the hell up? Right? Because you don't have any idea what it is that I have to confront on a day-to-day basis in the air.
what is
So you should never risk having an entanglement with your parachute with anything else, right? So the parachute is going to have a clean deployment. You should never risk somebody else having an entanglement with a parachute with their parachute. You should never pull low, right? There are people that pull low. I won't even get on the bully pulpit about that one, but people don't pull low.
what does that mean?
Yeah, you're not talking about Halo.
Yeah, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we're talking about Halo, right? So high altitude, low opening. High altitude is anything above 18,000 feet. Low opening is anything below 2,000 feet. Look, my deployment altitude is 3,500 feet. What's deployment altitude for a brand new skydiver? 3,500 feet. Where could I take my altitude to? With a waiver, I can take it all the way down to 2,000 feet. I don't do that because altitude is my friend, and the more altitude I have to solve a problem, the better off I am. I am not guaranteed a proper opening ever, right? So I approach every single jump as though I'm going to have a bad opening, right? Hope for the best and expect the absolute worst. And if I get the best, awesome. I don't have to put any of my practice into work, but I am ready for the worst case scenario, right? So you should never put yourself in a position where you're going to end up in a worst case scenario, or you're going to put somebody else in a worst case scenario. That's just being an ass. You should never do that. And I say that, A, as a jumper, as a fun jumper, so someone likes to enjoy the sky, and B, as a guy that has to write the report. I hate paperwork. Don't make me write a freaking report on account of you doing something stupid. Because if you do, then I'm going to make you pay for it. And if you're not alive, I'm going to make sure that your name is remembered in a nasty way.
So somebody said, I want to get married. Husband and wife, or a man and woman want to get married. The wedding dress is like a no-no because it could potentially get entangled. But you can still get married maybe, but you're just going to have to do it in the jumpsuit or whatever the appropriate attire
As a matter of fact, a wedding dress can be done. I have a friend that got married in the sky not so long ago.
Okay.
And her wedding dress didn't have a long train, but it did have the fluffy, typical, fluffy skirt.
Right.
But she is such an experienced badass jumper that she can fly the opening in such a way that that dress is not going to get in the way.
Right.
Not a problem. Her husband was wearing a tux, right? And he had everything set up in such a way that none of the tux parts were going to get in the way of a deployment or a handle. So, you know, there are things that you just do and you don't do, right? You always make sure you have access to all your handles, and you always make sure you have the ability to have a good clean opening.
So what's more dangerous, getting married or jumping out of an airplane?
Getting married, absolutely.
And where is Pam when you say this, Carlos?
In Colorado.
We have sort of a problem here.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
She may be watching the show, so it's okay.
She very likely is. So, you know, this is without question the sport for addicts, because we get to do the thing that we do and enjoy the rip and the ride from it, and it's all legal. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about getting pulled over and going, "Have you been skydiving recently, sir?" "Yes, as a matter of fact, I have." Not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
We got
high as a kite on adrenaline.
Hey, we have a question here. Go ahead, Joe. You want to read it?
What? Oh, Joe? I thought you said Jody. I'm like, how the hell is Jody going to read it? He's in the chat. Hogs and Helm says, Carlos, how much time a week do you spend ground training on abnormal events?
Very nearly zero, right? What I do is I spend time training on my emergency procedures. Before I go to the drop zone, if I know I'm going to be doing tandems, I go over all of my emergency procedures for tandems. And then if I'm not doing tandems, then I'm doing all of my emergency procedures for sports skydiving. And I'm going to do those no matter what, because I'm always going to sports skydive. But the tandem procedures are different, and I have someone else's life in my hand. So I review my tandem EPs every single weekend I work. So figure it takes 20 minutes to go over it. It's really not that much. I have colleagues that do it the same as I do. I have colleagues that do it once every 6 months, which is the requirement is once every 6 months. Look, you do you. I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack the deck in my favor. Like I said before, I have plans for tonight. They don't include the morgue or the hospital, so I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I'm prepared for every jump I go into.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's my philosophy with everything in life.
I mean, when I get dressed in the morning and I put my holster on, I press check my gun. Right? It hasn't changed, but I still press check my gun because I need to make sure that there's a round chambered. It's no different than going through your EPs and making sure that everything is the way it needs to be.
It's a random question. Just won't leave my head. So let's ask it. How close to the country's border does people skydive? Is there a... Because I've seen several videos, or at least a couple, where Carlos has gotten a few miles away from his intended route to the drop zone. And, you know, it'd be kind of, if you didn't have your passport with you.
I know that Skydive San Diego is...
I mean, Canadians are cool, but they still like, hey, y'all make a big deal, we're going to
I know that Skydive San Diego has had a couple of off landings in Mexico. How about that?
Oh, I didn't even think about that one. Yeah, that's...
Let's go south.
And that's in cartel territory, no less.
Yeah, and they...
Elaine and TJ.
I don't know that there's any drop zone in the north that is on the border. But
I didn't think about that, man. That's a whole new level in my head right now. Because, yeah, they see you dropping south there.
That's a whole new level you done up.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Joe Brett's thinking of how he can sneak into Tijuana.
Sneak
Let's
in. We
see,
can just go. Let's go.
I'm looking.
That
I think
Cinco
right now,
strap. That Cinco strap. will get you.
Malone Parachute Club is probably within 10 miles of the Canadian border. Let's
You shouldn't
see.
float that far off, though.
I've gotten 10 miles out before.
Oh yeah, wow.
Oh yeah, I've gotten 13 miles out before. Let's see. There's what's this drop zone here?
Good gosh, man.
West New York skydiving looks to be pretty close to the border. I don't know where the border is exactly at, so I don't know for sure. No, they're not in the. No, they're far from the border. They're far enough from the border.
So legit, like if you get 10,
hang on.
13, 10,
Skydive
13
the
miles
Falls.
out.
Skydive the Falls. It's just right on the fall on the Niagara Falls.
That's what I was thinking.
They're right by the border. They could easily land in Canada. Let's see.
So 10 or 13 miles out, do you really start like freaking out a little bit because
that's what I was wondering.
you're away from the sectional map that has the little skydiver on it. All right, so now you're kind of kind of mingling in the air traffic.
Well, I was gonna say, are you talking statute miles or nautical?
Nautical.
It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference.
3 feet.
Exactly.
What's the
X
difference?
is over here on the map, and I'm way over here, and a whole bunch of people are on the ground are pointing at me.
So, in Puerto Rico, I grew up obviously there. Well, obviously I say because it's obvious to me, but it's not obvious to everybody. Obviously, I know the area rather well. I grew up there, and in 2015, I got out. I think 13 miles past the drop zone, and the pilot just looked at me like, "Are you crazy?" And I'm like, "No, keep going." And he's like, "You're not gonna land on," and I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm doing a high pull." He's like, "You're still not gonna land on," and I'm like, "I got this."
Doing a what? What's it called? A high pull?
A high pull is high altitude, high opening.
A high pull. Okay.
So, sorry, fellas.
And you're going to float, and you're okay. In layman's terms, I'm going to pull it up high when I jump, and I'm going to let the winds carry me to a destination.
Bingo.
Layman's terms.
So, which, by the way, hang on, I gotta show this to Steve.
What the hell are you doing?
I gotta show this to Steve because Steve will appreciate this. Let me take the background off. Settings, virtual camera, none. All right, cool. Steve, look at what I found.
Oh,
Good stuff.
oh, dude.
It gets better.
Bottle
Number two.
Bottle number 2. What happened to bottle number 1?
Good luck getting that one.
I think the owner had that one.
Yeah.
But
I was sitting on a shelf in the bank vault.
Steve and I shared one of these at Huntsville, and I think it had bottle number 3 at the time.
It was 3 or 4 of batch 2. So
Why would you open that?
Because it's good.
Tasty.
Oh my God, is it good?
I mean, it's meant to be drank. I mean, like, tell me something. Would you I presume that you find your wife rather attractive.
Most days.
Right? Did you consummate the marriage?
Oh, we've consummated several times.
So why would you do that? Because it's meant to be, buddy.
I'm not trying to save it for the resale value.
Exactly. I'm not trying to save it for the resale value. I bought it to be drink it. I bought it to drink it.
Filter it.
Not a ham radio.
You know.
Well, we are honored that you're drinking bottle number 2 tonight on the Clubhouse. Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed that he can't share it through the screen.
Yes, absolutely.
Here, Oh,
You know,
Joe,
Damn it, Joe.
Damn, Joe. You take a week off and
jeez.
I was gonna say, get my cup right here.
oh man, my voice. So, what other questions do y'all have? I mean, like, this is a riot. This is not a topic I was expecting to talk about tonight, but
We never know what to expect.
I was kind of.
Oh,
Oh yeah, see,
there you go.
That's a good bottle, man.
Notice that bottle's almost empty too. There.
Yeah, getting a little low.
Until it hurts says DM me a shot. I'll DM you a picture. Here's your picture.
Wow. Bottle
Cheers,
number
boys.
Cheers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm all out.
I was just having this discussion. One of my local friends sends me a picture of his beer, and I was giving him crap, and I'm like, okay, honestly, I'm not hating on your beer. It's just I'm a little salty because I don't have none. He said, well, that's an easy fix. I said, yeah, but I keep forgetting until I get home and open the fridge. So
Priorities, man. You gotta have that as a reminder on the way home.
I'm like, hey, doc, I need some stronger medication. I keep forgetting to stop by the beer store.
Mike says this stream brought to you by Shadow Vision.
Shadow Vision. Yes.
Ed Slangeve.
So, Joe, any weather related incidents? I know you had some work details going on, but up there in that northwest part of the state where you are, any weather situations, or did it just kind of go through and a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind? It is what it is.
Bunch of rain. I did come out on the. It was yesterday evening. I walk out on the porch when I come out the shack for a little bit, and I look and I'm like, I be dipped. There's something hanging off my carport.
Uh-oh.
And I said, that looks like a wire.
Oh,
and
no.
I follow that wire with my eyes, and sure enough, that's my loop, my 80-meter loop.
Oh, no.
So one of the legs was tied off to a little squirrel feeder that I put on the tree many years ago, and, well, it finally gave up its purpose in life and released the rope to that leg. So it was still raining. I was like, well, I got to get that. I can't let people just run over it. And what if I want to talk on the radio? I can use my other antenna, but that's a great antenna.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk out to the shop in the rain, get my extension ladder, and climb the ladder and put it back up. So everything's good besides that.
It's funny you said that because I went outside tonight right before the stream, took out a bag of garbage, and I'm looking up at one of my wire antennas, and I look down at the tree, and now I don't see the rope that's supposed to be wrapped around the tree.
Uh-oh.
But the leg is still up. So I pulled out the binoculars. I pull out the spotlight. Of course, it's starting to get dark. I'll deal with it, but it's still up in the air. So it's like this mystery of where is it? Where is it? And I figured with the binoculars I would be able, but you know how it is. It's like finding
I want to address Dennis ask any word on the Insta 360. So some of you that was at Huntsville this year, I had my Insta 360 Max 4 that Dennis talked me into. He didn't really talk me into it, but he told me all the good points of why he had one. So I went and spent the money and bought me one. I'd always been interested for years in a 360 camera. They're just kind of cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I had it on a lousy tripod extension pole, and it got knocked over at the pavilion, right on the lens. I heard the pop. I didn't even have to look at it. I knew what that pop was. It was a freaking lens. So anyway, we done some YouTubing, some Googling, and it's like, you can get a lens for like $30-$40 off Amazon. You just take some razors, a hacksaw or something, cut that baby open, glue it in. $50, you're done. And then I got to thinking, well, if I buy this cheap lens off Amazon or wherever it comes from, hack this thing up and super glue it in, and it still looks like crap because it wasn't clear glass or something like that. Am I going to be able to send this back to the company after I took an axe to it?
Nope.
So then I go looking up the, how to send it in for repair, and then I see this thing about Instacare. And for $29.99, you can get 2 replacements in a year, and then some prorated repairs or whatever. And I'm like, oh shoot, can I still buy that? No, I couldn't. You have to buy it within 15 days of your purchase. So, anyway, I made the decision without even knowing how much it was going to cost. I boxed it up, printed out a label, sent it to them over in California. They kept it for about a month, and I do have it back in my possession. Well, I have another in my possession. They sent me a replacement. So
what did it set you back?
Do what?
What did it set you
What
back?
set me back? Yeah, that was kind of the climax of the story, wasn't it? Sorry to leave you hanging. Yeah, no. But there you go, Steve. It was it's like
There you go, Joe.
130, 131 bucks. Yeah, a lot
That's not
better
bad.
than having to spend another 500, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a reasonable repair pay on it.
it was. I mean,
Well, dude, GoPro is great for that too. Like if you get their subscription, you can literally every year replace one of your GoPros.
yeah, I mean, I really wish I'd have spent the $30, but 130 is still a pretty good price for what they had. Well, what they'll have to do, I guess. I'm sure what they do is just take in the broken ones and turn around, validate the claim or whatever, and make sure you didn't take an axe to it and put an Amazon lens on it, and then try to send it back in. But
Well,
I mean,
I just want to comment on like that video you did. I was like, dude, I'm gonna rent out and buy a 360 because it was just cool to watch. So I was like, all right, I gotta buy one. So I haven't bought it yet, but it's on the it's in the shopping cart.
my wife gets pissed off every time
Get
I
the
do the
Instacare.
I zoom. Yeah, do the Instacare, $29.99, and but she gets irritated when I do the tiny world, when I zoom out and it makes the little tiny world effect. It's like, why do you do that? And I'm like, because you can't with a regular camera. It's cool. But what I enjoy a lot about it is just hit record and not worry about where it's pointed. I mean, you can't.
Is that
get
the camera you use for your hunts for one of your hunts, Phil, when you were driving into the park?
Yeah.
I thought the graphics were incredible on that video. I loved that.
Stick it out the window and
Yeah, I told my son, if you need some ideas, something different for your video productions, watch Uncle Joe. Watch Uncle Joe's video, and you get some ideas about a different way of doing things and telling the story. So.
Yeah, it's neat. The different. It doesn't replace a good, camera if you want to use some zoom in and high quality glass and stuff. But it's definitely a cool little tool to have in your bag for some different shots.
Jody says it great.
I thought about buying one before.
The fisheye view was.
Carlos, you definitely got to buy one. That would be awesome on a skydive. I mean, you'd be able to get full 360.
The problem is that it's a fisheye lens, right? So you have to subscribe to the idea that you're going to have a fisheye look to the video.
No. You can de-warp it in the software. So and point it wherever you want to point it. And if you want to take that one video shot, but you want multiple angles, well, you just export one angle, go back, readjust your stuff, and export that one, and merge them together like you please. Now, yeah, if you zoom out, you're gonna have the fisheye, but you can make it look like just a regular frame video. It's not. You can zoom in and out on it.
I might have to consider that for next year's Parachute Mobile gear setup.
Yeah, I mean, I used it a lot when we come into the park because, I busted it on day 2, so I didn't get to use it the rest of the weekend. But you can tell, like, when I'm driving into the park with the camper, it starts out normal and then zooms out, fisheye, and then comes back in. So you kind of see the different angles you can get.
Yeah, Jeff says that you can flatten it out, so I get it. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so and the only aggravating part about it is, like, I got so used to just my regular workflow and doing my regular videos with my camera or my phone or whatever. This adds another step to post edit. Now, if you happen to use Adobe, whatever, they have a plugin that integrates into it. so it doesn't really add, I guess, another step to your workflow. But for me, I have to go into their software and then get the video framed and pointed where I want it and stuff, export it, and then put it into my editor and merge it with everything else I want it to flow with. It's not that bad, but it's another step. But yeah, if you would have been
I know how that
learning,
feels like. I'm
you
doing
would
the
have had
same
a
thing with.
360 when you lost your bag, you could have followed it the whole time. Never lost sight of it.
I mean, I followed it.
Or if you're 13 miles away from your drop zone, we can find you.
I was gonna say track the aircraft.
I mean, I followed it with my eyeballs going.
A few expletives.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that there were some expletives that were cut out of the video. I think Steve and Paul have seen the video already, but it was an expletive palooza.
Fuck is a very versatile word.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I mean that there are new words we can learn on the playground.
Oh yeah.
Get your mouth washed off with soap.
Remember, one of the early seasons of South Park has Cartman in the classroom and Mr. What the hell's the name of that teacher?
Mr. Garrison.
Mr. Garrison.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he goes, fuck, buggity, fuck. That's a fair approximation of what happened.
It's close.
yeah, close enough anyhow.
I was gonna say, but with the voice isolation that you now have, I bet that video would be phenomenal.
Which is why I cut it.
Carlos, when you're jumping, are you seeing I'm going to presume GoPro or a similar camera mounted on some type of helmet? Is that pretty much common, or are people still using stuff with their hand? I know your hands are needed at that 3,500 foot level or whatever, but are they putting something on their arms, their shoulders, their
So I have two cameras right now. I'm thinking about adding a third to the mix. So one camera is on my helmet. It's a DJI Osmo, the original Osmo Action. So someone go get it a walker. It's I want to say that camera is probably 6 years old right now. In the world of action cameras, that puppy's ancient. Let me see, that camera. No, that camera's probably pushing 7 or 8 years old at this point in time. That neighborhood. The original Osmo Action 1, didn't have a 1 on it, just said Osmo, just this Osmo Action on it. So that's on my helmet. On my hand, I have a glove that I wear that has a GoPro on it. And that glove allows me to detach it completely and eject it. Again, because if anything gets in the way of my deployment, I'm getting rid of it. My life is worth more than a GoPro. That's all I'm getting at. And I'm thinking, I've been seriously thinking about adding a chest harness where I can put my iPhone into it and aim it down at the radio, so that then I can have a separate shot of the radio, just that, and then insert it into the video. But that's maybe thing for next year. I don't know. This year I spent my money on telemetry software.
Hey, Carlos, here's a stupid question for you, right? But what are the chances that two people skydiving could play catch, throw a ball back and forth to each other?
Oh, you can absolutely do that. It's been done.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
It's been done.
Video of it.
And as a matter of fact, if you Google search for what's the name of the Harry Potter game?
Quidditch.
Skydive Quidditch. You're gonna find a group of people, of which I know some of them, playing a game of Quidditch in the sky.
That's awesome.
It is ridiculous. It is
Who's riding the broom?
Legitimately ridiculous, and it's fun. Just because you're like, as a skydiver, I know that like they're having to really work hard to fly these brooms.
Mm-hmm.
It is fantastically fun.
So with that, could you shoot paintball guns at each other?
Yes and no. You have to aim really low. Because remember, as the paintball's leaving, the wind is going to take it up, right?
So you could just hit yourself in the nose or something, huh?
Shoot yourself in the nuts.
Get shot in the nut. Strap number 5.
I've seen it done. I've seen it done. It's interesting as hell because if people are aiming the way they would on the ground, because if they see you there, the ball just goes. But if they start aiming low, oh, you're going to get plastered.
But the thing is, what happens when that paintball hits the ground? What speed is it moving at?
Not my circus, not my monkey. I don't care.
It's going to go splat like it would do if it hit anything else.
I mean,
it probably wouldn't pick up that much velocity.
I would have to do the math. You're talking about a ball. What's a paintball weigh? 30 grams?
Thereabouts, yeah.
So 30 grams with a spherical, I mean, it's a legit spherical ballistic profile. So the coefficient of the ballistic coefficient on it is what, 0.3?
About equal to mine.
No, no, sir. You are denser than a paintball.
This is true.
Yeah.
Ham till it hurts hit it though. Answer is terminal velocity.
Exactly. Legitimately terminal velocity. I want to say terminal velocity, something like that. I'm just, back of the napkin math in my head. I'm going 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour tops in that neighborhood. So it's not going to be that hard. Hell, it's leaving faster than that when it leaves the barrel of the gun.
I was going to say it's moving at 300 feet per second when it leaves the barrel.
If
they're set up for tournament. Yeah.
If they're set up for sort of field conditions.
Right.
You can crank up the gun. You can crank up
Yes, you can.
Ask me how I know.
Nope. We're not going to incriminate anybody tonight.
Folks like you that made me really hate playing paintball.
Simunitions are worse, though. I don't know. Joe, in your line of work, have you dealt with simunitions?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go.
They're worse. Fun. Except for when
till it ain't.
Yeah, till it ain't. Yeah.
Yep.
That poor guy shot me in the toe, man. I come back around that corner and he regretted shooting me in the toe.
Oops, was that a 9 in my gun by mistake? Sorry.
Yeah, don't get Joe Brett mad. Pay back the bitch.
Shouldn't have went for the toe, man.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
I was going to say, who's printing on the 3D
My
printer?
bamboo telling me my print's done.
I know that noise.
Yeah.
What are you printing?
BE5 SAR says, Core says terminal velocity of a paintball gun, of a paintball, is between 32 and 40 feet per second. That seems slow.
It does.
Yeah, but what's the average speed of a laden swallow?
That depends. Is she Russian or? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Wrong question.
Wrong.
Well, that was one of my guys asked me at my club meeting last night, how many bags of concrete did I use for my tower?
All of them.
Well, yes, all of them, but how many did I order? And I had to go back and look at my history. And when I walked up to him, I said, the meaning of life. And it took him a minute.
Now that's a good answer.
That's exactly how many bags it took.
I went to go pick up some gear that I bought from another ham. He was clearing out somebody's estate. Ooh, what's your print, Joe Brad?
Ooh, Halloween decorations.
It looks like Oogie Boogie's head.
Yeah.
That is Oogie Boogie's head.
Yeah. Boogie, 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 boogie. Oh,
Dude, that's cool as hell.
Just wanted to print something.
That is cool.
So this fella is showing me his shack, and he was like, "I got to show you this." And he shows me his tower, and his tower has something that I'm sure the rest of you must have seen by now, but it was news to me. Okay, he's older.
Mm-hmm.
He's not into the idea of climbing a tower.
Right.
His tower has a carrier. It's not an expando tower. It has a carrier that runs on a winch.
Mm-hmm.
And it lowers the antenna stack all the way down to the ground.
Yep.
On like a sled. I'm like, that's genius.
It's called a hazer. Yep.
Like I'd never seen that before. You know, I granted I haven't been in this game for long enough, but I thought that was just straight up genius. It's like, yeah, I bought this cheap Harbor Freight, winch, and I just hoist it up when I want, and when I need to make adjustments, I lower it down, and I'm like, that is freaking genius. He doesn't even have to get the roof of his house.
I was gonna say probably faster than lowering my tower.
So that's something I always wanted. Like, yeah, the hazer is great, but you can't use guy wires, or you can only go up or down to the guy wire. So I got to looking one day that you see this almost every day you drive, probably depending on your area, but the big monopoles for the street lights on interstates and stuff, things are like 100, 150 feet tall, depending.
I know what you're talking about, yes.
So I go to the local NDOT store because I just happened to notice they got one that looks like it's in pretty darn good shape sitting out there in the pasture.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it stayed in that pasture, too.
It's been in that pasture for a while.
Oh, how much money, man. It's a shame. But it's perfect. It's that tall. It doesn't need to be guided. It's freestanding, and you stick a Ryobi drill at the bottom of it and bring that whole light system down.
Mm-hmm.
You can replace the lights with antennas. Keep a light on it to light your yard, as long as it doesn't cause you RFI problems.
American flag,
Yeah. But
throw a flag up there, and then you get your light on it.
Yeah.
I don't live in an HOA. I don't care. I'll just put an antenna on it.
It's just, man, them things are so freaking expensive.
Yo, Brett, everything is expensive.
Everything, man.
Everything.
Damn shame.
While I'm thinking about it, we're 90 minutes into this thing.
Yep.
How many people do we have watching? I don't know. I haven't looked at the live
86.
stream.
86. Yeah.
Look, 86 of you can make a difference. All right?
For 50 cents
Y'all with me?
Do I see a PSA coming?
For 86 cents a day. Look, N1OG. His channel needs 1,000 subscribers. And if 86 of you go over there and subscribe to his channel right now, you're going to help him along in that path, okay? The same thing is true for hiking and hamming. And the reason I'm saying this is that simple. Look, how the sausage is made. When we have a playlist, like tonight when we had a playlist going from one video to the next, to the next, to the next. If you came to the video with a playlist, you're going to follow the playlist. Not a big deal. So the playlist will guide you from one video to the next. And that, as a matter of fact, I want to say that holds true for KO4 AFL as well. So add a third one into the mix. So, however, if you came into the video and you didn't use a playlist, when we set up the premiere, get to redirect the end of our premiere to the next video on the list. Excuse me. So, I redirected to KD9 or KB9. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. I've had enough to drink now. But I can't remember.
All right.
What matters, though, is that I was able to redirect. And if you came to my video without that playlist, you were redirected, and then you were redirected, and so on and so forth. There's a couple of people on the playlist for Tuesday night and for Thursday night that don't have the numbers, which is 1,000 subscribers, to be able to redirect.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, 80 some out of you, do me a solid. Go subscribe. Exactly. Go subscribe to N1OG. Go subscribe to KO4AFL. Go subscribe to Hiking and Hamming. Go subscribe to everybody on the playlist if you're not already, especially if they have less than 1,000 subscribers, because it's going to allow them to make things easier on the redirect for everybody to get all the content. Okay?
Yep.
That took me, 2-3 minutes? I shall get off my soapbox now. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Carlos,
That's it.
you know, I just realized you could be at the atheist convention selling the Holy Bible, and you just sold out. And as Mike says, subscriptions are free tonight, so act quickly. You're absolutely right, Mike.
So as an ice salesman to the Eskimo population, do me a solid. Go subscribe to the people that are in the Tuesday night playlist, especially if they're under 1,000 subscribers. You're doing them a solid. You're doing me a solid, because it helps all of us get along, and it makes it easier for all of us to help each other get more content out there. Look, tonight, including the Clubhouse, we're talking about 3 hours of nothing but ham radio content.
Mm-hmm.
The Clubhouse is ostensibly not so much ham radio content, but we won't tell those guys, okay?
We talk radio.
That's why you watch Nuggets on Monday night and you learn about TNCs. Like the last few weeks, we learned about terminal node controller and watching the boys and everything. And as Jody says, Carlos, have you heard the good word about the free subscription?
As a matter of fact, my fellow YouTubers, tonight we're running a special. A special, I say, free subscription to all of you.
Preach, brother.
Hey, I sleep all night and I work all day.
Hang on, what's the name of the owners of Google and YouTube?
Alphabet Company.
Praise Alphabet Company and say hallelujah.
It's like, aren't they all cool?
I'm going to hell. I know. I'm okay with it. Look, I'm going to have company there. I'm going to have a lot of company.
And for Mike, for NAYO, listen, brother, we didn't have to do the introductions tonight because we figured, what the heck, everyone knows everybody. So let's just get into this thing, right?
Well, we didn't burn an hour doing introductions. I could burn an hour doing a fart story.
Yes, that was proven tonight.
Pretty close, yeah.
I'm sure.
My voice is already shot.
You're right there, Carlos.
I had to get to the good itch.
Yeah, good itch.
Oh,
Carlos should have been a preacher.
That's what, when he was talking, I was kind of thinking about that even earlier, Paul.
The Church of Ham Radio?
I was thinking the same thing. This man, I could have walked in and he would have took $100 from me and I still would have been giving him more.
Or the Church of Skydiving.
The Church of the Fallen Skydiver.
Look, if you want to give me money, patreon.com/KD9OLN.
There we go.
Buymeacoffee.com/KD9OLN.
If you want me to jump
if you
out
feel
of an airplane,
compelled, if the spirit moves you.
that's right. If you want me to jump out of an airplane, you'll give me some money.
I was going to say, and if you're a high enough Patreon member, you can schedule a jump with Carlos.
That's right. That's right. That's the next level. That's the next level up, isn't it?
That is a very high
top level.
That is the top level. I have to admit, I have to thank Steve temporarily offline, Steve. But because I didn't want to open up a Patreon. He was like, "No, you should totally do it. People want to support you. People want to help you pay for these jumps, this, that, the other." And I'm like, okay, here's what I'm thinking. If we're really gonna do this, we're gonna do this, this, and this. He goes, "You should have a level where people get to go do a tandem with you." And I'm like, "Well, I'll take anybody for a tandem. They have to just pay for it." He goes, No. Make it as part of the Patreon." I'm like, What? He goes, "Yeah, just make the Patreon high enough that you can justify taking them for a tandem." I'm like, nobody's going to sign up for this, but okay, what the hell?
Let me tell you, Carlos, when I signed up for your Patreon, I was that close to doing the tandem level.
Really? Look at him. Look at that.
Damn it.
You were $20 too much.
Boys, we got a dead soldier.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
Jody, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Wow.
Jim Baker has movie to do.
That's decent timing. You've only got 20 minutes left in the show. And you killed the bottle.
Brothers and sisters. The Church of Ham Radio has spoken.
Mm-hmm.
How?
That sounds like a whole nother live stream. The Church of Ham Radio.
Oh, Lord.
Oh boy.
Either A, you're laughing with me, or you think I'm blaspheming, and I'm going to hell, which it doesn't matter. I'm already going to hell. I'm okay with it. I have friends coming with me. I'm okay with that.
Plenty of people will take the turn to drive the bus. That's how I look at it.
We have a special section set aside for us. Don't worry. If you've seen any of my memes, you already know.
That's exactly where my mind went.
Speaking of memes, who is not enjoying the pager memes right now?
The pager, the cats.
The cats.
I mean, the cats have been overridden by the pagers. The pager memes are just look. The bottom line here is people don't mess with Mossad. Mossad is going to make you have a really bad day if you mess with them.
I haven't got on the internet yet.
Oh, you don't know the story, Joe?
I've got one pulled up that was shared with me,
but do you know the story behind it?
No.
So, short version of the story: the Mossad used a cell phone packed with explosives to kill a high-ranking Hezbollah person, right? And Hezbollah went, "We can't do that anymore. We can't risk our guys getting killed on a cell phone." So they switched to pagers. Well, Mossad is nothing but crafty. So they inserted a bunch of pagers into the stream for Hezbollah. And then they waited, and they waited, and they waited until they were sure that all the pagers were out into the general population of Mossad, of Hezbollah bad guys, commanders, field, lieutenants and whatnot. And today they sent one page out, and that one page blew every one of those pagers up. killed at least 9 people, injured at least 1,000 others. Granted, I shouldn't be laughing. There's some innocent bystanders that got hurt. Look, you lay with dogs, you're going to get fleas. That's all I got to say about that.
Just think of the close proximity to your waist.
Exactly. Somebody's nuts got blown off. And they didn't die, and they wish they had right now.
I was going to say, did you see what Scout posted?
I gotta go back to Discord now. I gotta go. I gotta go to our double secret probation.
And Mike for the win. So much for the 72 versions.
I mean, they're going to get 72 virgins. It's just that, they're not going to have any bits to use them with the virgins.
They're going to stay virgins.
Oh, man.
But, I don't think it's ever specified that they're female virgins. I mean, they could be female goats,
Could be male goats. This
Anyone
is
else
so
getting
awesome.
the messages failed to load? I noticed it earlier. It's happening even on my desktop.
I get it occasionally, yeah.
I don't know what's
Well,
going
good
on.
here. It's just y'all started talking about that, and all of a sudden Google was requesting my location.
Jeff says Mossad line 1 for Carlos. Look, Mossad already knows me. They don't need to call me. They know I'm on their side.
Carlos, it's for you.
Pass the handle over. Kaboom! I'm not Hezbollah, so I'm not worried about it. Can you imagine? You look at your pager and it says, "Oh, look! One of my buddies says poopies." Boom.
Like the Kingsman all over.
Yes.
But what would be great if it was like a Wile E. Coyote fucking explosion where it just kind of like blew up and they're just standing there and their hair's off.
Acme, the Acme
Pager Company.
Pager Company.
Now I'm rethinking Apple Alert.
Yeah.
Dang.
Don't send an alert to your pager.
Yeah.
Sam Weaver, highlight that one. Highlight Sam's comment.
Got it right there.
Yep.
Silence. I kill you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Excellent.
With all these laughs, I don't know why you guys don't invite us in here more often.
The door's always open.
We had this discussion 2 hours ago. You don't have to be invited.
It's not a link that stays good for every freaking run.
No, but you just message them and say, "I'd like to hop in tonight."
The message transportation method does stay the same.
Oh my.
Joe Brett.
Yeah.
On Discord. Hey buddy. Hey, if you ever want me on, just send me the link. Yeah, all right, I'll keep you in mind, buddy.
I've
See ya.
been here for 2 weeks, man. What are you talking about?
All right, so we're going to go around the room and say goodbye. We got about 10 more minutes, and a whole bunch of people have decided.
Boo.
I think at one time we had over 100 people here, and some of us have to go to work tomorrow and keep America strong, and and all that other important stuff. So, Paul, let's start with you. And
well, all right. So I probably won't be invited back next week, but next Wednesday, I'm skydiving for the first time. It's going to be epic. I'm going to pay for the video, so watch out for that on my channel coming in the next couple weeks. In the meantime, unfortunately, you got to suffer through the softball championships. I'm excited to be in the championship. I'm not getting to play in the championship, but I'm there. We're there. We made it. So you're going to see that on my channel. Suck it up. Deal with it.
Nice.
Bad news bears. Well, Carlos, any last words?
Yes, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Go subscribe to N1OG. Go subscribe to KO4AFL. Go subscribe to Hyken and Hammond. Go subscribe to anybody on the Tuesday night or Thursday night ham radio playlist that has less than 1,000 subscribers. You're doing me a solid. You're doing them a solid. And I appreciate you. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Just don't unsubscribe from the folks that have 1,000 subscribers.
No, don't do that.
That's very important.
Totally
Just asking for
unsubscribe from N1JOR.
Yes. And then resubscribe later on.
Subscribe with all of your accounts, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric, what about you? What are you doing?
I don't really have a whole lot. I got a bunch of videos in the can that I've been, dragging my feet on getting done. Did a Poda in Boston that I'm pretty psyched about, was the res antenna. So hopefully get that out there soon. And then I got to get my knucklehead friends there, Mr. N1OG and Todd, to find a time we can go do a head-to-head on another vertical antenna. We're going to try to do a whisper test all at the same time. So that should be fun to do. But coordinating's a pain in the ass right now. So outside of that, not really much. Just trying to catch up with a bunch of projects I get going on. But glad to have you. Glad to be
Where
on.
can everyone find you? Friday nights. Friday
nights, on my channel, and then if they want to do once a month, we do. We've got a podcast on Live Ham every 2 weeks, and then we've got a live stream coming up this September. So check us out there.
All right. So the question for the Northeast boys here, Near Fest is coming up on Friday, October 4th, which is about 2.5 weeks away. You guys going to be up there walking the crowds?
I'll be there Friday.
Okay. What about Saturday?
Nope.
I plan on going every day.
Okay. And I believe that is only a Friday and a Saturday. Do I have that right?
Yep.
It will not be on Sunday. Right. I'm going to see what's going on in my life. I'm going to see if I could take a road trip for either Friday and or Saturday, and who knows. But a lot of things have been, I don't want to say derailing. It's just a busy with a whole bunch of family stuff, and family always comes first. So I figure the ham stuff will always be here. But family memories will not be. So between some house projects, but I did miss the one in Marlboro a few weeks ago. I did want to go to that, but that'll be around next year. So and these are all just the big local ones that are growing. So it's nice to see these little ones growing. And I shouldn't say little because they're really not little. Mm-hmm. They're doing well. So,
well, I hope you make it up there, Izzo.
Yeah, I'll private message. I'll know more probably by Tuesday, October 1st, Wednesday the 2nd. If you get a message from me, that means, and we'll meet on a secret 2-meter frequency or whatever. So,
perfect.
Brother Steve.
Yep. What's going on?
Yep. Yep.
So
yep.
I've got a few more kits to build. The 7610 is headed off to ICOM in the morning because the waterfall stopped working and a few more things keep happening.
Lightning strike.
Your
lightning strike a year ago.
You're 0.2 kc off on transmit. Or
blame it on Shane.
Yeah. I do blame it on Shane, but it was actually, I think, lightning. So
you sending it to Michigan?
No, I'm actually going to send it out to Washington. I know, but we'll see.
Support the guy in the garage, man.
I might send it to Michigan. I haven't decided yet. I got to print off the label and get it sent out. But I've got a couple more kits to build. And I'm going to do a deep dive on the 857 and how to get the ATOS set up and digital in the truck.
Excellent. Is that it? All that work, and that's
I
is
think
there anything
so.
else? Is that Joe Brett? Welcome home.
Well, thank you very much. I ain't got nothing. I'm just hanging out on Tuesdays. It takes a while to make blockbusters, like I do. So other than that, I'm just gonna be waiting for Steve's videos to come out. Check those out.
They'll be out before Shane's.
12 to 24 months.
While I know Steve has got videos coming out, I'm on vacation because I'm not giving him no more damn thumbnails.
That's right. There you go. There you go.
I only took one.
One is all it takes.
Yeah.
And I gave you credit for it too.
After you got scolded for it, I don't know. I didn't even went back to look, but it's all good. Just don't do it again.
All right.
Well, it's been real fun chasing everybody on Hamler. I know we had the G5 storm came in. I know prior to us going live locally here, all of the 2 meter repeaters up and down the East Coast were all screaming. So obviously the band was open. I don't know if the band's still open right now. I've been here, but it's been very interesting the last few days on the HF bands between the DX, the DX Poda. Just guys around the country. I love being able to say coast to coast, working California and Oregon and Washington State here from Connecticut on 10 meters, 12 meters, 17 meters, 20. I love saying coast to coast because it's a fun time. It's a fun time to work.
Well, but what about 2 meter simplex? You guys up north need to be hitting it up, man.
It's funny. It's funny. My area, I think I hear a lot of guys across the pond. We call it across the pond into the Long Island, New York area. I hear those guys on a regular basis. We got a couple local guys here about 5 miles from me. Other than that, I don't hear too much. I am always on 652. There's always a radio on in my truck monitoring. It doesn't
It's
pop
like
in.
every time I pull
A
up
radio?
the VHF.
A radio, Steve. Yeah, a radio. One radio is always stuck on it. I mean, it actually scans. It scans between 652 and a few other VHF stuff. Unfortunately, I don't hear too much, but it could just be the time of day when I'm traveling.
He scans through the 4 crystals he has installed.
Crystal jobs.
It's more like he's got 6 radios mounted in there. So
yeah, well, I don't know.
Tropospheric ducting was fantastic today.
It was. So there you go.
It really was. I was picking up a repeater that's got to be 250 miles away.
Ow.
Fun time.
It was wild.
Well, here in my radio nerdy lifetime, I've heard on low band California Highway Patrol, I think 3 times. And that is just something you just don't going east to west like that. That is just usually it's up and down the coast. Maryland, Virginia, to DC to do the New Jersey stuff is always easy. It's when you get past like Steve's neighborhood and going south, where part of it's going over the water. That's really an incredible. You're doing it over land. The band's really open. So for Carlos and Chicagoland to be hearing that stuff, absolutely.
So this week, I was on a business, and there was a couple times going to and then back from this undisclosed location. I was at 30,000 feet, and I had my FT5 sitting right there in my bag under the seat in front of me. I'm like, man, surely they won't notice just a little APRS or something. I didn't do it.
Except for the pilot's got his sitting up there in the cockpit, beaking in the same thing.
And he makes a QSO with you. He makes a contact with you. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be funny way. So, all right, everybody. We appreciate everybody. And a special statement to Paul N1OG. You're welcome all the time. We're not sending out the invitation, so don't ask for it.
Well, he has to ask because he's got to get the new link.
Yeah, he's got to get the link every week.
Steve, you ready to play that outro music?
Yep.
Bye.
All right, everybody. We'll see you all next week. Be safe. Have fun.
Bye-bye now.
Hey, Joe, ever hear the longest story ever about a fart?
I just checked my wallet. I'm $100 short. I think Carlos has it.
Boyle's Law, fellas. Boyle's Law.
Fifth strap.